In today's video, I'm going to give you guys a complete tutorial. In a second, we're going to jump over to Mallorca, give you a live flight, and then we're going to fly all the way back to England. I'm going to show you my colour correcting and colour grading process. Let's get over to Mallorca now. Let's get it up in the air. I'm going to keep really good line of sight here and get some shots right through this gap here. This is going to look sick. Such an advantage when you can see the drone right in front of you to create these shots. So I want to capture these smaller shots first, get a bit more motion. Wow. Wow. Now exposure, I know it's not perfect. So let's get a nice establishing shot as though you're arriving at the lighthouse, driving up towards it. Honestly, this place is just insane. I think you feel like you're in a Bond movie. The Golden Gun. Okay, let's get a bit more height. This section here, actually, you could use this jib shot, but I probably would do a better one. It's beautiful lighting now, it's absolutely stunning. Now, the obvious shot with the lighthouse is going to be the orbit, so that's why I haven't done it initially. A little bit more height on this, because we want to vary the angle. Remember, I'll tell you what, actually, we'll do the top down first, because the lighting is going to fade faster on the top down, and that is going to be harder to do. So, and it's also the one I'm likely to forget doing the top down, so we'll do that first. And we're on normal mode here, we go straight up. Yeah, it's revealing how it's on that cliff there, isn't it? It's awesome. So yeah, happy with this. Let's get the orbits in, they're the main shots, aren't they, really, for lighthouses. Okay, get a bit more of the distance in as well. It's okay, but I think I like the way the lighting is coming from there. That looks sick. Let's tilt the gimbal up a little bit. There we go. This here, this is the money shot. This is the money. I think the reveal the other way is possibly going to be more interesting. Let's do another orbit here. It's nice with these shots where, like, orbit's the best shot really for a lighthouse. And just to have the luxury of choice, a few different ones, a few different angles to pick from afterwards. And also, I'm interested to have another look back. I really like that shot we got right at the start. I wouldn't mind doing that again, closer towards the end of sunset. Oh, this for me is the money shot here. Beautiful, and just there how it ends, lovely. And then also I do like this. Let's try and just go straight. Just a little bit of a shame about the cars here. Dave's with me. Do you want to come in, join in, Dave? Come and say hi. How did your shoots go? Yeah, we need to get, I think I've got enough of the lighthouse now. Let's get, oh, look at this. Look at the beauty here. Let's get like wider angles of this shot here.
8 hours of driving just to get these shots is commitment. But when we get back, I'm having a night. I'm treating myself to a nice meal. I'm feeling a steak, anything, meat. I need protein, red wine and a beer. Don't know about Ian here, but for me, 100%, I am getting that.
I have already done a colour editing video, editing D-Cinelike footage from the DJI Mini 3 Pro. However, that was in colder conditions, so it'll be interesting for you guys to see today what I do in warmer conditions, how I deal with those warmer tones. So we've got our footage lined up now and we're going to get on with the colour grading. So first thing I'll do is I'll add some saturation in. There we go, all the way. And then exposure, it's already quite bright there, so we'll just lower the exposure here. Okay. I think the colour looks okay. You could, it's one of those where you could add a little bit of warmth if you wanted to down there. I think I'll do that with the colour wheels actually today, guys. Okay, so what's going to be very important here is the curves. We do want to add a little bit more dark, a little bit more contrast. So let's just move this here. Now I'm also going to do an S-curve because I want to just bring out the shadows a little bit more, just make them a little bit darker. So let's just do this down here. There we go, okay. Let's add a colour wheel because I do want a little bit more warmth in the mid-tones. There we go. Let's have a look at this. I think this moment when it goes past, when it reveals, is going to be the key, this bit here, yeah. That there is now what can be a little bit difficult with colour grading is that it can change, you know, the exposure can change in the middle of a clip, particularly with orbits. So you do want to look at where is that key bit of the section that you're going to use, and is the exposure right there? So here, this is my favourite part of the clip, this reveal. And I think we're doing about the best we can here, because here it's fairly dark, if you look at the scopes there. And then here, it gets slightly brighter. So I think we're kind of taking the average here. You know what? With my sunset shots, I do like a bit of colour, so I'm going to add another colour board on and add even a little bit more saturation, just a little slither more. Let's add also hue saturation curves, because I would like a little bit more, see a bit more blue. Okay, so click on the dropper tool there, click on the blue tones. Let's add a little bit more blue in, just a bit more colour. There we go. Now, if this was in the middle of the day, I might desaturate the greens a little bit, do that a little bit here, but in sunset, sunrise, you don't really need to worry about that so much. It's just, I don't like that really strong green, you know, when you're really boosting the colours. It can be a little bit too distracting. So I do actually like green, I just don't like it to be too strong. So there we go, pretty happy with that. Okay, so I'm just going to shift along here on the timeline to the next section of footage that I'll use, which will be this push in here of the lighthouse. Let's start it here. You can, it's good to have shortcuts with Final Cut Pro, but you can also go to trim and trim start. But I've got it set so it hits that button there on the keypad just to be faster, because workflow is very important. So I've used already the color grade that I had before, but we still need to tweak it because of course when you flip the drone round, the exposure is going to be very different. So keeping everything as it was, but the first thing to look at is the exposure. Now it needs to be a bit brighter here, okay? So we've moved that up a little, touching the 100 there at the top, and then we move this down to touch the 0, okay? So this actually looks pretty good. It just shows how, even though color grading can be a little bit intimidating, once you've set your basics, you can generally copy and paste what you've got from one clip to another, but then just tweak it in little places here and there. And when we come to the top down in a second, things will be quite different there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that as it is. Right, so let's move on to the top down section. Now top downs are often, the lighting can be very different to our normal shots. Okay, so this is going to be, I think the colours of the setup will be fairly similar, but look how much darker it is now with the top down. So we need to move that, the shadows, move that up to 0, and then here. And then with the colour curves, this colour curve here, I think we'll remove that. That to me looks pretty good. Now what you can do, if you have another drone shot that's not in the same clip as this, to save time rather than having to go through the whole process again, is just go to edit, copy and paste effects. So there we go, and then we've now got the basic layer of the color grade. But I would recommend having this set to shortcuts as well to make your process a lot easier. So let's delete that clip there. And here we're working on some orbits. I don't particularly like that shot, so we'll move on a bit further away. This looks good. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's a nice orbit there. So let's work on this. Okay, let's take this section here. Right, so again, we're coming from the top down, so the exposure is not going to be spot on here, so we increase this here. And then we also want to remember that color curve that we took off before and add that back in just to give it a little bit more. Now I think here, the saturation, maybe it's because the sunset's moving on a little bit, but I think we'll knock a little bit of the saturation off here. Just a little bit. I think one saturation bar is enough there. Yeah. And I want to add a little bit more blue in because I don't want to go too different, because you don't want to change too much about what you do in the edit so it all fits nicely together. But I think this looks like a nice edit there. So thanks for watching guys, I hope that's interesting for you, just seeing the difference in how I colour grade slightly differently when I'm doing sunsets as opposed to in the mountains and the snow. It's just about tweaking, and I like to not change too much, but just slightly exaggerate at times what's already there. So if in the mountains, I'll bring out the blues a little bit more. Sunset, I'll just warm up the midtones a little bit. Maybe not so much towards the end of sunset, because then the warmth is going to be so strong, you just want to keep it normal. But at the start of golden hour, sometimes I'll just bring out the midtones a little bit, bring out the warmth a little bit. So yeah, thanks for watching.